about the 1,000-year reign of Christ, and we're going to start with Revelations 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the abyss, and holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil, or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss and locked and sealed it over him, to keep him from deceiving the nations any more until the 1,000 years were ended. After that, he must be set free for a short time. Now, how important is Revelations verse 20 and 1? Look at all the information packed in that guy. He saw an angel coming down out of heaven holding the key to the abyss and holding in his hand a great chain. And he seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil or Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. The millennial reign. So everything that's happening spiritual, for all my spiritual folk, is also happening physically here on earth, right? It's physically taking place on earth. So when he had the key, and he's bringing the key in a chain, and he about to lock up the dragon, the devil, Satan, the same person under different names, into this abyss, this pit. That pit is Europe, right? He's locking up what they would call all of Europe, right? So he locking up a whole pile of people in Europe, and they can't come out of Europe for 1,000 years. Think Statue of Liberty, she or he got a chain around her foot, but they got a light in their hand. The light bringer, the light bearer, being freed from the chain. That's right here in verse 20 and 1. And when it says here, locked in, to keep him from deceiving the nations anymore. So these folks that's locked up in Europe, they can't deceive other nations. They can't deceive other groups of people. So they're getting the wholehearted truth with no deception, right? You ever saw the movie The Invention of Lying? That's a real thing. During the 1,000-year reign of Christ, there was no lying. There was no deception unless you were in Europe. So lying came out of Europe. Being deceitful and cunning, all that came out of Europe. This was a culture that came out of the abyss. Because during the 1,000-year reign that Jesus was here, there was no foolery. All right, so we're going to skip on down, right? And it's going on about the people who's going to, I'm going to just read it because we're going to just get to it today. Verse 4, I saw thrones on which were seated those who have been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls of those who have been beheaded because of their testimony about Jesus and because of the word of God. They had not worshipped the beast or his image, and had not received its mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. The rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy are those who share the first resurrection. The second death has no power over them, but they will be priests of God and of Christ and will reign with him 1,000 years. So the saints, the ones who didn't receive the mark of the beast, right? Those are the 144,000 that reigned with Christ 1,000 years, right? The 1,000-year reign already happened, right? The 1,000 years, the millennial reign has already taken place. We're currently in the time where the devil must be set free for a short time. Okay, it's a lot of stuff packed in Revelations 20. So these people who reign with Christ this 1,000 years, these saints, these priests, right? We got to get through all of verse 20. I can't even break it down all the way. We got to stick to the point. This is where we are currently at in the timeline. And when the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, and gather them for battle. In the number they are like the sand of the seashore. Now, Gog or Magog, bro, that's like New York. It's Gog or Magog. I got it on the map, right? Because America is the old world. That little place over there that they're calling the Holy Land, Jerusalem, that's not. These people lied to you about everything. You like when I'm talking to people who understand the truth, they lie to you about everything. You think they told you the truth about geometry? I mean geography. You think they told you the truth about geography? Where this place is at? Oh, they call this, and some of this stuff is in English. Like these places got their names from English. Like India is an English. Like these are English. Georgia, because they got a place over there in the Middle East called Georgia. All these are English names. They telling you English was invented in Germany, and then Shakespeare made it become famous. Like all lies. All lies. Right? America, they named America after Americo Vespucci. What? No, all lies. Like 100,000% lies. And they lied to you about where the Holy Land is too. And the Holy Land is right here in good old America. Right? This is the land of milk and honey. Believe that. Utah is probably Utah. Right? Probably somewhere on the West Coast. Right? Is where the real Israel is at. And Egypt is like Louisiana. The Mississippi River is the Nile. You know what I'm saying? All those mountains and shit might be giants or big ass fucking melted houses. Right? Y'all eating pink sea salt. That's somebody's body parts. That's a giant's body parts. Y'all can't believe in the Bible and then it tell you giants exist and you like, oh, I don't believe it. No, the truth is in movies, man. Right? And the devil who deceived them. I skipped the verse. Right? When 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. That's where you see what they'll tell you, like Christopher Columbus and stuff. And they all got on these boats. And they came here searching. And when they got here, they found a whole bunch of what you would call naive people. Because they had never heard a lie. The 1,000-year reign of Christ had ended. A catastrophe happened. Like buildings melting, earth shaking. It was bad. The saints go to the North Pole, right? Oh, when the saints go march, oh Saint Nick. The saints are at the North Pole as we speak. That's why all magnets point north. That's why they tell you a story about Santa Claus coming from a North Pole. And now they're telling you it's just nothing there. It's nothing there but water. They'll tell you they have a treaty where people can't go to the North Pole. And then they'll turn around and tell you ain't no land at the North Pole. All the magnets pointing to this place. Everything is based off the North Pole. Every time you drive your car is based off and use GPS. It's the North Pole you're basing that off. The saints are at the North Pole. So when the 1,000-year reign of Christ was over with, him, the 144,000, got up out of here and went to the North Pole. That's how you going to encompass the saints. That's how you going to surround the saints. They have to be at a location. If they're all scattered all over the place, how you going to surround the saints if they all in a whole bunch of different places? No, they all at the North Pole. And you're not a saint. None of us. We're the people. Let me read it to you. Right? We're the people. Right? They came to, I'm in verse 4. They came to life and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. The rest of the dead did not come to life until after the 1,000 years were ended. So everybody who was lukewarm, right, a bad guy, right, all the Israelites, all the human beings who were on the earth, right, and they had died, they wasn't going to come back to life until the 1,000 years was over with. But the saints are the people who not going to suffer a second death. We're the humans, all of us, every human on this planet, all of us, this is our last chance to get right with God. And I think depending on how lukewarm you was, right, in this lifetime is where he placed you in the timeline. Gave you a chance, because now we know that we getting the truth is coming out. Imagine in 1890, they was deceived, you know what I'm saying? So we getting a chance to see the truth, and the 1,000-year reign has already taken place. But more importantly, you better understand that you was lukewarm, and God, His mercy, He's given us a second chance, which is now, which is currently happening. Some people out there think they're the second coming of Moses and Joshua. You're not. Your ass ain't nowhere near the saints. Cut that out. We all on this earth got to cut it out and understand that we're the people who was lukewarm and just flat out evil when Jesus was here. Because some people lived through the 1,000-year reign, right? Everybody didn't die. So when Jesus came back to enact the 1,000-year reign, and let me give you some Bible scriptures to back up that Jesus came back a long time ago, or at least over 1,000 years ago, right? So let me give you what I want to give you. I'm gonna give you Mark 13 and 26. Mark 13 to 6. All right, it says, at that time, people will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory, and he will send his angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heaven. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to give you. But this is you. This is him showing you how he's coming in clouds, right? To get his elect, to get uh his the saints, right? But I'm gonna jump down to verse 30. That's the one I wanted, right? The first verse is to show you that the Son of Man, Jesus, is coming in clouds with great power. He coming to destroy shit, right? And then in verse 30, he says, "Truly I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until all things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." Right? He said, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." That's Jesus doubling down on himself, tripling down. Right? Some people take this last part and say heaven and earth will pass away. Heaven and earth will pass away. He's saying my words will never pass away. Some people take that as saying heaven and earth has to pass away first. No, it's not what he said. Truly I tell you, this generation, this is Jesus speaking, and he's telling somebody, this generation, truly I tell you, this generation, this is Jesus tripling down, telling somebody, this generation won't pass until you see these things I'm telling you gonna happen. That's wild. People saying that's just one verse. Oh, it's just no, man, you gotta get right. Matthew 10 and 23. Matt 10, 23. We gotta go there. Let's get it. Matthew 10 and 23. It says, when you are persecuted in one place, flee to another. Truly, I tell you. Here is another verse where Jesus is doubling down on himself. Another verse. He's doubling this. Jesus saying, you gotta, bro, check it out. When you are persecuted in one place, flee to another. Truly I tell you, you will not finish going through the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. He's saying before the millennial, the 1,000-year reign of Christ happens. It's the Son of Man, Jesus, me. This is Jesus speaking. I'm telling you, bro, you won't get through all of Israel before I come back. Nuts. Crazy. You won't get through Israel before the Son of Man comes. And he said truly. And people are saying it hasn't happened yet. You trust man more than God. It right here in the Bible says truly. Jesus speaking, saying truly to you. And here you is, puffed up on pride, gassed up on emotion, negatively. It's good to be emotional, but negatively, in a prideful way. You all gassed up, and you're not listening to the Bible, and you're listening to man. Because Jesus right here breaking it down. It don't take, they're trying to say Jesus, if you go off the current day motion, they're saying Jesus has been gone 2,224 years. Around, give or take 30 years. Give or take 100 years. They're saying Jesus has been gone for over 2,000 years, bro. And if you know the chain of events, he got to come back. The 1,000-year reign, the tribulations got to happen. All that stuff still got to happen. And then the 1,000-year reign happened. No, y'all trying, and then, but y'all let's say the end is near. You know, the end is super far away. We haven't gone through the 7 years, and then another 7 years, and then Jacob's trouble, and tribulations, and the earth, and then uh, the beheading of the saints. All this stuff got to happen. And then the 1,000-year reign of Christ, and then the ending of the 1,000 years, and then the Armageddon battle between Gog and Magog. So when y'all saying the end is near, no, it's not. According to what you're saying, the 1,000-year reign hasn't happened yet. So the end is super far away. We're not close to Gog and Magog going to war because the 1,000-year reign of Christ hasn't happened yet, according to you. But this is Jesus. I'm giving you verses, man, where the Most High God's Son is saying truly. He's pleading with you. He's pleading with us. Because I'm part of the generation of the lukewarms who had to get a second crack at it. And thank you for God for being a merciful God and giving me a second crack at this thing. Some of y'all gonna waste it away. Please don't. Please. This is important. Let me give you another one. What did I just gave y'all? Matthew. Let me give you Matthew 16 and 27. Let's do that. Can we do that? Can we go 16 and then do 27? See what they say. Nope, I'm going to do this another way. We'll go Matthew 16 and 27. We're going to hit it. See if we can find another version. All right. For the Son of Man, hold on. 27. All right. For the Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. Verse 28. Again, Jesus doubling down on himself. Truly, I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. The kingdom is the 1,000-year reign of Christ. That's the kingdom of Christ. I just gave you 3 back-to-backs where Jesus is begging you to believe him. It's a quote out of Jesus' mouth. Jesus didn't, he told these people, some of you standing here will not taste death. You think somebody alive from 2,000 years ago, big dog? Like seriously, what you think? You think somebody, what are you talking? Truly, this is Jesus. Truly. Are you gonna believe Jesus? Or are you gonna believe man? We gotta keep it real. Who you believing? If Jesus says, some of y'all, if 8 of us is in a group and Jesus says, truly, I say, all y'all won't die and before I come back. And 2,000 years go by. Jesus looks like a liar. I know you're not trying to call Jesus a liar, right? You wouldn't do something blaspheming like that, would you? No, then listen to our God. Because Jesus created us, but he has a creator, the Most High. He's the Most High God. Right? But that's 3 back-to-backs where I gave you, right? And we about to get back to Revelations 20. But I just wanted to show you that the 1,000-year reign started a long time ago. It started and ended already. And the saints at the North Pole, we're in the season of deception. They got us believing all kind of foolishness. Life started in Africa, and the Earth spinning, and we're in space haul ass, and there's a such thing as space. Blacks came over here on the boat, and then had 400 years of slavery. All kind of just nonsense. But the season is short. The season is short. And if you go back to Revelations 20, he says, and after that, he must be set free for a short time. Right? But let's keep going. Revelations 20 and 7. And when 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations which are within the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, and to gather them for battle. In the number, they are like the sand of the seashore. They marched across the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of God's people, the city he loves. But so I just told y'all the saints are at the North Pole. This is now you have to. Are you going to believe man, or are you going to believe the Bible? The Bible is saying God's special people are all in one city, and people are going to surround them after they marched across the whole earth, and they're going to surround God's people, the city He loves, or in the King James version, the beloved city. They're going to encompass like a compass. They're going to encompass in the King James version. Let me get it in the King James. Y'all like to play little games, huh? We ain't, I ain't here to play. King James version. Where we at? We gonna keep this one since I can, and we gonna go Revelation. All praises 20, and then we gonna do KJV. That's what we gonna do. We ain't gonna play no games. We're gonna go right down here, and we gonna go and then went up, verse 9, and they went up, Revelations 20 and 9, and they went up on the bread of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. Compass, take the ed off. Compass, which all points north to the North Pole. What do you like? The Most High put it in baby steps. But we were so deceived because we genuinely good people. We didn't believe. We believed the lie. We think because genuinely we think. Why would you lie? Why are they lying about it? Because you a good person. But you gullible, and it's gonna get you. It's gonna get your soul. It's gonna get you burnt. All right, you gotta open your eyes. Those with ears to hear and eyes to see. He that have an ear, let him hear. Right? You gotta understand what's happening. He said, and they went up on the bread of the earth and compass the camp of the saints about. The saints are at the North Pole. These humans are going to surround the saints. They're probably going to tell us they're aliens, right? Or they're fucking X-Men or Avengers. They're going to tell us something fucking nuts to get us to believe that something alien is at the North Pole and they got to go and kill it. But instead of Jesus coming this time, the Most High coming. And in verse 9 they say, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them, they were we being deceived. The devil that tricked you into thinking something was at the North Pole besides the saints. You man. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. People say ain't no hell. Whatever you want to call this, in verse 10. Whatever you want to call the lake of fire and brimstone, right? And because he said the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. You have to remember the devil is people. This is a person or people. Those are the deceivers who just led you to war against, try to go against the saints. People see devil and think one person or some dude, red dude with a pitchfork. You did? But that's not, the devil is the one who deceived you and got you up at the North Pole thinking you about to fight aliens in this Independence Day. Nope, but the devil was that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So you're gonna be tormented day and night forever and ever. There's that. If you want to say that's whatever it is, right? But I know you're about to get judged. The sea gonna give up the dead. The earth gonna give up the dead, right? And 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 they will judge every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. There's two deaths. There's two deaths. Two. You got everybody who died before the millennial reign. That's one death. You got everybody living now. Second death. When we get judged this time, right? This is the death where you go into the lake of fire and brimstone forever and ever. Tortured. That's what it says. Make sure I'm right. Tormented. And shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Excuse me. You're going to be tormented. Man, I pray my name is in the book of life. But instead of praying, I can do the works to get my name in there. And a blessing from the Most High to get my name in there. Right? But it's going to be night of the living dead. It's going to be a whole bunch of dead people. Getting out the sea, getting out the earth. Right? It's probably going to be scary looking. And we all going to get judged. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So, if your name ain't in the book of life, you're going into the lake of fire. What's happening in the lake of fire? Right? In the lake of fire, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. And whoever's soul name was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So this time, if you look, whatever the line is for you getting into heaven, whatever he saw fit. If your ass ain't on the other side of it, you're through. If that don't scare you into getting into the Bible and stop doing frivolous dumb shit, nothing else will, bro. I just sat here and told you this is your second and last chance to get your name written in the book of life or get your ass in the lake of fire. It's up to you. But those who have ear will hear, and those who don't, you know. But this part one, I got a lot of stuff I can give you about